Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mindset Monday. I am here with my co-host Dave. Dave, what's going on, bud?
Jonathan, what's going on, buddy? I'm good. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you.
Yep. So we were talking earlier, prior to going live, and decided to go over the four pillars, and here's why. Right? If you don't have your finances, your fitness, your faith, and your family sorted out, okay, and they're not. I don't want to use the word balance. Balance is a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's just an unrealistic word because it's never really balanced. But if you're not actively working on all four of those and being cognizant that you have to work on all four of those, what'll happen is you're going to go a very, very long time thinking everything's good, and then all of a sudden things are going to break down. All right. Let me give you a great example. Let's say you have a great family, you work very hard, you run a very successful business, you believe in God, you go to church every Sunday, but you don't take care of yourself from a physical standpoint, right? You're 350 pounds. Well, guess what? You being 350 pounds absolutely impacts your performance with your team. Okay, whether you know it or not know it, how people view that and view you changes, right? You don't have the energy, you don't have the drive, you don't have the stamina to deliver the way you should for your team, right? So that doesn't happen overnight. That happens slowly, day by day, over time of you not doing the right thing, you not working out, you eating what you shouldn't be eating. Okay. But what'll happen is all of a sudden you get sick or something happens where you can't work for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then every other part of your life starts falling apart because you weren't taking care of yourself physically. Right. Or you see the guy that's very fit, he's crushing it at work, right? But his family life is a mess. Okay. Eventually that bleeds in. When you go and get a divorce, that's going to bleed in and impact, what you're doing at your company. These things are all related, right? Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you brought that word balance, and I get what you're saying, when in terms of balance, but I think the most important word to use is synergy, right?
Yeah.
You want to have these things kind of synergetic with each other. I'll give you a perfect example, man. Like myself, like my diet's been a little loose since I stopped 75 hard. Not much. Okay. It hasn't been loose much, but enough to where mentally I don't feel as sharp. Right. And physically, right. Still great in the gym and everything, but you feel that sluggishness a little bit to where it's okay. I got to dial this back in. That habit and that step, diet, I think diet's more mental than physical, right? So that mentality of keeping that discipline on that diet in to make you feel good, it's super important. And when you get used to it, it's now it's okay, I'm off. I'm not feeling right. That throws the physical off when I'm waking up in the morning. I feel, I'm not feeling the best. I'm not getting after it. That reflects how you handle things with your team, and it creates unnecessary almost anxiety for no reason, right? What it's really creating is it's telling yourself, hey, you're not doing these right things. You're not synergizing these four pillars in balance, right? That key word, right? Balance with each other, and it's even on that spiritual end too. If these things aren't in line for me personally, I don't feel right. Now, what do? Well, obviously, do the things that got you there in the first place. Get that diet back in check. If you're not physical, do something. Get some steps in. And when we talk about physical, you don't have to be Arnold, right? And pump iron like crazy. Get the body moving. Get a couple thousand steps a day to start. Get a start, right? The mental, get some podcasts. Actually, reading's better. You get those eyes moving around and you get the brain thinking a little bit. You're creating that mental flow in your mind, and then faith. Doesn't matter if Christian, Buddha, you know, universal law, whatever you believe in, man, there's a higher source. I believe that. We talk about manifestation, right? You see it, you believe it. If you're putting good stuff in, you're getting good stuff out. And that's pretty much
Yeah.
spitting out 4 pillars all at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And listen, I think it's important to do a little bit every single day, right?
Yeah,
I'll give you a great example. And you hit it on the head. I had family over all weekend. Okay. I had a blast. It was great catching up.
that's awesome.
But my workout routine is a little off. I worked a little bit yesterday. I wanted to make sure that I did something. So this morning, I was actually running behind, but instead of just getting to the office, even earlier, I decided to go just do a quick run, get the body moving, go for a quick run, open up, get the ideas flowing, and then hit the shower and then come into the office. I was still here by 8, but you know what? That quick run, that kind of set my day. I felt like I at least accomplished something I wanted to accomplish before I got into the office. And so that's another thing, guys. When you're working on these things, these 4 areas of your life, your health, your wealth, your family, your faith, as you're working on these, they actually will help you build momentum. Okay. You're building these little wins by doing something in each one of those buckets every day. And when you stack enough of those wins up, you really start building some powerful momentum and you feel better. You get in a groove. You start actually operating at a much higher level, higher frequency, right? Who wouldn't want to operate that way? Why wouldn't you want to do that? If all you had to do is do one little thing in each of those categories, maybe, hey, you go home, you buy flowers for your wife, or you do something different for her that she wasn't really expecting, right? Try to do something in each one of those areas every day and see what the results will look like. You'll start really winning and things will start going a lot easier for you and you don't know why. And the reality is it's just because you're doing the little things that you're supposed to do that sometimes you forget or you're in a hurry to do. All right. So just slowing it down a little bit and doing a little bit extra in one of those 4 categories every single day is a really good way to start building some positive momentum. Dave, you got anything else on this?
Yeah, man. The finance and I've noticed when you have these things in line, the financial by default will pick up. If you have all these things in line, in order, and you have these financial goals. Finance is always the last thing that pulls up with it. Everything else is dialed in. So of course, by default, that's going to be dialed in. But in terms of everything else, make at least one non-negotiable every day that you're going to get done in each pillar, right? Make sure you read 10 pages for your mental. Make sure you get that physical activity in. Make sure you get that prayer time, meditation, or visualization, and whatever you choose. Make time for those things. And I believe when you slow it down, like you said, and you dial these things in, you're going to create more time by default. Okay, you're focused, you're energized, everything's in a line, and it's a recipe for success all around.
Good stuff, guys. Well, listen, you heard it here. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on Financial Fitness Friday.
Be great, y'all. Ding, 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 ding.